And I guess that also kind of changes with age, because when I was a lot younger, I was nicknamed the volcano because I'd just lose my shit on something so fucking simple because the guy wasn't ready or he just pissed me off. Dude, and it would just, then I would explode and then it would just be a disaster for the rest of the night because then now nothing is right.
That's like Eric. Yeah. We call him the Hulk.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. How would you feel after erupting? Would you regret that or were you whatever?
No. And then I would say what I have to say, and then I would just move on like it never happened.
Oh, shit.
Right? And then...
It's just an explosion. It's
just
natural phenomenon.
That's what volcanoes do.
What would be an example of something that would set you off?
Someone overcooking a steak, something not being served at the right temperature, something being set up too quickly, not flowing with the rest of the kitchen.
So anything that wasn't perfect.
Exactly.
So basically anything that wasn't perfect. And it sounds like you have high standards.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are paying a lot of money to come to these places, right? So you have zero margin of error. Yep. Or it's kind of like if you're in the CIA and someone knows that you fixed a problem, well, then you're not a very good agent, are you? Right? So you have to make sure the customer has no idea that there was a mistake that happened. The flow has to be just right.
That's such an interesting example. You would use that.
I was a volcano back then, but as you get older, your personality kind of changes and you realize, wow, I was kind of a dick back then. Wow, I'm surprised these guys still talk to me. I'm surprised I wasn't stabbed. Wow, okay. So then, you go through some reflection when you get older, and my newest trait, I guess, happened when I had a kid. So about 9 years ago, I kind of learned patience because I was extremely patient with him. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then that was kind of the only thing that changed when my kid was born is I think I got a trait called patience. Wow. The rest, nothing's changed.
It's kind of like forced upon you, right? When you get a kid, you either be patient,
because you don't want your kid to call you volcano. It's like Daddy Volcano.
Well, it's not even about what they're going to call you. It's like either you're going to go insane or you learn some patience.
Because they are volcano. The kids are volcano,
right? So I think that is kind of reflected into my career path or how I've kind of grown as a human. Yeah. So I approach things a little bit different in the kitchen now. Right? You can't have an angry guy back there slinging sandwiches, can you? Yeah. Making shitty pizza.
Well, you could. In New York, that was pretty common.
That's true. That's true.
Well, let's just hop into that right now. Yeah. Right now, you have one of the hottest restaurants in Shanghai in Substandard, which I think, and I don't know if this is true, but I feel it, and I think we've kind of talked about this a little bit, at least amongst ourselves as well, which is when you kind of came on the spot, and you open up your shop, all of a sudden I saw a trend of sandwiches start getting sold in a lot of restaurants and new sandwich shops start coming up. I'm not saying that you started it, but that's what I'm kind of saying. What happened? Why sandwiches? What happened?
Well, first off, this concept is kind of near and dear because we've lived here for a long time and it was very hard to get a decent sandwich. And I think everybody who kind of grew up in the States or even France, all over the place, sandwiches are kind of near and dear to people, especially growing up in F&B. Chefs, we eat more meals standing up than sitting down. So it's a quick energy boost and delicious, and you can be done in a few minutes. I thought of this concept a long time ago, and then just never really pulled the trigger on it. And then finally, it was just like, let's go. Let's have a try. Let's see what happens. Let's minimal investment, low overhead, small footprint, see if it works. And it took off quite well. I mean, the reason we only wanted to do sandwiches in the beginning, but it was like, what if, what if it fucking fails, So we decided to pad ourselves with pizza because I love pizzas as well and see what would happen. So if the sandwiches didn't take off, at least the pizzas would kind of sustain the business. But it's the opposite. We do 80% sandwiches. So it's great. But yeah, I noticed. I think every chef in the city was just waiting to see if it worked.
Do you feel that there's a lot more places opening up now?
I've noticed it, but I think maybe my brain is just trained to notice it. But maybe they've always been there because, before we open, every sandwich I would order from any deli tasted just like I could go to City Shop, buy an old baguette, some cold cuts, some mustard, some mayonnaise, some lettuce, tomato, and put together an average sandwich. So we wanted to be the opposite of that. We wanted to make a sandwich that you will never make at home. Yeah. Right? Because post-COVID, I don't think many people are baking anymore. So you wouldn't get up in the morning, bake your bread, chiffonade your lettuce, shave the ham,
Well, there's so much
pickled
more that
vegetables.
goes into a simple sandwich than I think most common people think, right?
Exactly.
People just think it's just like, okay, you put some meat in between two slices of bread. There's so much more thought that goes into it to like just calibrate it just right. There's just so much more, and the consistency of it, the ratio, everything, right?
Well, that's what I like about cooking, because simple doesn't mean easy, and you want people to think it's simple. But the research and the development that goes behind the scenes before you get it right, like we probably tested 15 different breads, different flours, wild yeast versus dry yeast versus active yeast versus. We tried a lot of things. We tried to put them in the molds. We tried free-forming them. We did a lot, basically, is what I'm saying. And then we kind of achieved the one we want. The texture and the texture of the bread, I think we nailed it, and that's what people really enjoy.
Yeah, I have a question, because I think there's so many topics we can get to, but I want to use this question to pivot back to your background as a very well-respected chef in general. But I think my take on the sandwich thing, I mean, we've all been in China for a long time, 10, 15 plus years. And like, I don't think that sandwich is just really an art form. First of all, it was done at a very low level. And I also don't think that traditionally people in China, like, they ate a lot of sandwiches, right?
But they do.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
So I don't think this was just, there were so many things that have developed in Shanghai in the last 10 or 15 years in terms of Western cuisine. So sandwiches is like one of the last untouched territories. But
Exactly.
even back in the day, there were different sandwich shops, and some of some of these places. But
Shanghai has come such a long way with Western cuisine, right, over the years.
so many different things. There's
so many improvements.
Michelin is here, like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to Michelin later. But absolutely, there was, I agree with you, Howie, there wasn't good sandwiches here.
It was an untapped market.
It was an untapped market because there were so many other elements.
But I do want to give a quick shout out. I remember back in the day, who's the guy from Madison? Austin?
Austin,
Of
course.
Yeah,
Yes.
He made a decent sandwich.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pretend like there was not a single good sandwich.
No, honestly, and the roast beef on our menu is an honor of Austin.
Yeah.
The big girl is what he used to do.
Yeah.
So what was his last name? Austin?
Who?
Austin
Yeah,
Who.
okay.
Exactly.
So and I think this.
So I think he made a decent sandwich. He made some good stuff.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was my
I'm
favorite
sorry to
chef in
leave
this city.
Yeah. I'm sorry to leave.
So
him out.
I want to give him a shout out for that.
Absolutely.
Well, but that amplifies this, right? Just like a slight pivot there. I mean, rest in peace, Austin. But I mean, he's a legend, right? Mm-hmm. Probably one of your peers.
He was a close friend.
Yeah, like your peer friend, et cetera. And like he did it, but he was a big time restaurateur, and then this was one of the things that he did, right? And so there is not a sandwich sort of culture and all that stuff. And then a couple of people tried, and then you came along, and then I think maybe that's starting some type of movement where you've sort of elevated this.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think, growing up in the food and beverage industry, it just there was a need for it. In Shanghai, yeah. It's just a disappointment, of trying to find a decent sandwich in the city. And you couldn't. Then you'd order it, and we go, that sucks. And it was so bad, I wouldn't even feed it to my dog. So it just goes in the bin, and you just kind of get exhausted for it. And it was just like, again, Substandard was kind of based on nostalgia.
Yeah. Like in my memory, could have been growing up in a lot of places and towns in the States.
Yeah.
The best sandwich to this day in my memory that I have was my local sandwich place down the street in New Jersey from me. Right?
Is that
local Italian deli?
Yeah. Is that your experience? Like how you're like, oh, I love sandwiches so much. It's like, is that just American culture?
Yeah.
So what are your top sandwiches? I'm curious. Like, what are your top 3? And not the restaurant necessarily, but the types of sandwiches.
So for nostalgia for me, is an Italian sandwich.
100% for me as well.
Like an Italian,
with salami, provolone, ham.
But the way I remember it done in Jersey, that's the gold standard for me.
Yeah.
But can I ask you something? Visually speaking, I don't know if we had the exact, because I'm also Italian. For me, it's Italian or a turkey club. But I just remember those sandwiches being like this, freaking huge.
And soaking, soggy with oil and vinegar.
Oil and vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh,
you would get those and then let them sit overnight just to get even more soggy.
Yeah.
Yes, it had to be soggy. Yeah.
And it's like that. Lots of salt and pepper as well. So you really have
oregano, salt and pepper. The works. Yeah.
And banana peppers.
Oh, you always
gotta have the banana peppers, which are crazy expensive. So it's frustrating because I wish they were cheaper, but I can't live without them.
Are they just expensive to get them here?
I think
in China?
so. Yeah. Yeah.
The
The import on
the
that.
orange, like the greenish orange ones.
They're
Yeah,
super
yeah.
expensive. And I could cop out and just use jalapenos, but it's just not the same. And
No,
I
it
won't
won't be
do
the
it.
same. No.
Refuse.
No, is there a sweetness to it a little bit, or do you soak them?
They're sweet. They're sour. They got
Yeah.
a little bit of heat to them. The texture is
Yeah.
spot on. And they also leach onto the bread a little bit. That's why we put them on the top end, so it kind of that sauce or the brine leaks into the bread.
Wait, let me ask you, Jason. Then, like because we were talking about like on the face of it, a sandwich seems so simple, right? Like to the uninitiated, I guess you would just think like, yeah, I can make a good sandwich, right? Everyone can make a good sandwich.
I would hope so.
What do you think? But what do you think was missing? Like, why did so many fail to make a good sandwich, at least by our standards? Like, what was missing in your mind? Do you think?
Okay, first off, nobody has their staff come in at 6:30 in the morning and start baking bread for the whole day. And then if you run out at 3 o'clock, they start baking again for 5 o'clock. So it's about freshness. And my staff,
So they undervalue the bread
the
component.
bread component for sure, because I hate crusty, hard baguette, especially when
Yeah.
they've been sitting around for a day. It's just terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
Eating rocks, really.
Yeah, so
horrible.
So that is one key factor. And then we never reuse bread for the next day. We try to give it out to people.
God, that makes so much sense that you underestimate bread.
But going back to that question, is it how much of it do you think is just because there wasn't someone who grew up like someone who was starting the sandwich shop didn't actually grow up in an environment where there was that love and passion? Yeah. I feel like, I mean, when Austin created his shop, like it was also very much based on his heritage. I almost feel like, you know, people like a lot of restaurateurs, they came out here to make their mark and stuff like that. And so they opened up restaurants and things like that. But there wasn't necessarily someone who did it out of the love of sort of that type of food, you know? How much of it do you think it was just that?
Well, that, and I also think it's, I'll get back to you in a second, but it's the cost perspective. You know, when you add on the delivery fees, the platform fees, the cost of the food, the cost of labor, your overhead, the margin's pretty minor if you're using good ingredients. Like for that roast beef, we're using a Wagyu M4.
Yeah, that's good quality beef.
And that
use.
turkey, it's a proper turkey breast. We slow cook for 15 hours at 55 degrees, right? So, and then we got to chill it and shave it, and it tastes like turkey. It's not a bought loaf piece
100%.
of turkey, right? So I think it's a cost perspective. It's lowering costs, basically, is what a lot of cheap sandwiches taste like to me.
I think it's the Subway effect also.
Yeah. And I mean,
people think that's a sandwich.
trash.
But there's a very real problem there with sandwiches, right? Like you were saying with the cost, is that there is a ceiling in terms of how much you can list a sandwich for on a menu.
I can only charge so much.
Yeah, because there's only so much people are going to be willing to pay for a sandwich.
Absolutely. So I'm going to eat the rest because because I can only charge so much, but I'm not going to cut my quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're using this really nice harissa for the sausage smash. That stuff's crazy expensive.
And you're making your own sausage and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like if you would come out, like, I mean, how long have you been out here in China?
I don't know. 2007, I don't know.
Yeah.
16, 15
It's
years,
almost
something.
like, and the thought experiment was like, imagine like when you first came out and you had this idea and you're all gung ho and you did it, right? Then there were so many factors that could have gotten in the way because first there might not have been a customer base for it. There's probably like a lot of things. Had you started with sandwiches, you know, then it might not have turned out the same way.
You know, kind of being in the F&B industry, you kind of got to be a study of human behavior. You know, you got to see what's going on in post-COVID. Spending habits have changed. A lot of expats have left the country. So there was a lot of factors involved. And I think one of the biggest ones was basically spending habits, right? So when people are eating more and delivery kind of grew, not many people are going out for every meal like we were pre-COVID, right? I was probably going out for 4 days a week to go to a restaurant and eat, right? Now you see a trend that a lot of people just eat at home and they get delivery. You can get everything delivered now, right? You can get a coffee, a juice delivered to your office, right? So, so we saw that happening a little bit. So we wanted to do something that's more delivery based. And I think it was just kind of consumer shifting and watching the market and seeing what was kind of needed in the right now. But getting back to Austin, I loved his food. we were going to his place all the time. It wasn't even a question. It's like, talking to the wife. It's like, where are we going to go tonight? It's like, going to Madison, right?
Yeah.
He also used to do lasagna, which kind of made me want to do lasagna. His chocolate cake was so good. We've been inspired by his chocolate. We've been inspired by a lot of his food, and he just cooks the way, like I always say in my kind of cooking style, I want to cook food that I would like to be served.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I look at it and say, yes, that's what I would want to eat, like this person's lucky, right? Then I think we've achieved our goal.
Hence the sandwiches, man, right? Like there's this thing about trying to put together this like beautifully, orchestrated plate that's like a piece of work on a plate. And, you have your very high-end restaurants and Michelin restaurants that do that. But then I always felt like, because I appreciate it, but when I'm hungry, I just want some like comfort food that just hits the spot. That's low maintenance and it's just delicious, right? And so I've always cooked. Obviously, I'm not on the level you're on, but even when I cook, like for my friends, like I just cook exactly how I would want to eat it. And that's what I make.
It's been a while, by the way.
And that's how I feel like that it should be done, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
it's been a while, hint, hint.
Well, that's it. Like when I see a place and it's just tweezers, I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be one of those.
well, I feel like some people do it for the sake of doing it that way, right?
Come on,
foam. Yeah.
Stop with this.
Deconstructed this and that.
I'd rather see someone with a spoon in their pocket tasting what's going to go out than to put the right precision of frisee on top of a prawn. Like, I don't care about that little piece of lettuce. Like, I'm going to knock that thing off and just go for the prawn anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a time and a place for it, and there's some places that, there's some places I go because I want that, and I know how good they are at it. Mm-hmm. But there's other times I'm just like, I ain't going to try that place because nope.
Well, my pet peeve is leaving a restaurant hungry.
Oh.
And I often do when it's a higher end restaurant.
Can I go on a little bit of a tangent on that?
Please.
Let's hear it. Okay.
Rant even better.
So we were in Vegas, me and a girlfriend at the time. We were going to Robuchon in the MGM. Mm. Okay, so we sit down. Okay, cool. It's classy, whatever. This is like when the first Robuchon started being launched all over the world. Waiter comes out. You would like to do the specials? Sure. We have pan-seared frog legs with chanterelle mushrooms and a parsley foam or something. It's like, oh, that sounds good. Okay, we'll get one of those. We'll get this, and this. Of course, going to have the Robuchon potatoes. Great. The plate comes out, and it's one frog leg on a plate with 4 baby little chanterelles, and it was like $25.
Jeez.
I was like, what is this? Seriously, there's a one-legged frog running around Vegas with a pocket full of cash right now. Like, I was like, okay. So we ate, and then we left. We're like, I'm still hungry. Okay, so we went down to Nob Hill, which is kind of right down the hallway in the MGM. Popped in there, got a cable car, cheese plate, hoping that would satiate. And the cheese came out. And I love cheese. Like, at one point in my life, I wanted to write a book about cheese. So, kind of well-versed in this category. And the blue cheese came out, and it was rancid. Like, it just didn't sell. So it gets this green kind of slime that kind of builds up on the outside. And when that happens, okay, fine, you just cut it off and you just serve the centerpiece that's actually still good. So the cheese plate was rancid. The cable car was so-so. And again, now we're down like $250 between the two places, and we're still not happy.
And this is Vegas, right? So this is supposed to be like the capital of like, culinary.
And these are credible places that we're going to.
Yeah.
So then we're kind of still angry and still hungry and just grumpy. So we get in the car, we're going out of the car park, and we kind of get up on Tropicana and look across the street, and there's Hooters. We're like, why not? So we basically just drove straight across the street, ended up at Hooters, got a pitcher of beer and like 50 wings, and finally we're happy.
And it was the best meal,
and it was like done.
Yeah.
So we started off at Robuchon, and we ended up at Hooters just to get satisfied.
Yeah.
We don't even need Hooters, McDonald's. Like,
actually, I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but when I first met Jason, I actually thought of you. You guys have a lot of similar characteristics.
What? He's good looking? Yes, I agree.
Good
well, he's got the radio
face.
Also, back in the day, skateboarding and just the some of the culinary influences and stuff like that. The conversation made me think a lot about you, actually. So it's funny that you just reacted to the Hooters.
No,
you're like,
that hit home. Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, so I get annoyed by some of these Michelin places because they're not cheap.
No.
Right. And, we were talking about Michelin Guide earlier and what kind of credibility do they bring. Back in the day, I really felt pretty confident in them, in their ability to, but they grew. They grew as a brand. They grew as a company. Now, I don't really believe them at all.
Do you think there's a lot of corruption within, like people getting paid off to write good reviews or give stars?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a judge for Pellegrino years and years ago. I can talk about it now because I'm not a judge. But I was for Asia, Top 50, and World. So kind of the credibility you get behind that is, well, you got to be in the kind of the F&B business, travel a lot, eat at these places, and everything's out of pocket, right? You don't get reimbursed for anything. It's just you.
Really?
Yeah, no, you don't pay. No.
Okay.
But the company pays, right? Like not the judge, right?
No, I pay. We pay.
What? Why?
Yeah. Well,
Like for the people that work for Michelin, for instance, like doesn't Michelin pay? It's a company, right?
Michelin probably, but for Pellegrino, for
No.
World's Top 50, Asia Best, whatever, that comes out. You get these judges who basically just go out because you enjoy eating. So no, it all comes out of pocket. But I'm
That's
saying
so
like Bangkok,
interesting.
it's bang for buck. I mean, because I can hit so many places so quick there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Versus here,
Yeah.
if I blow my one night at UV and that's my budget, then that's that.
Well, it's biased in the sense that if you're paying out of your own pocket and you have to eat, then you're going to just go to the places that you want to eat. And so it's not objective, right? It's not like, okay, go to all the restaurants in the city and then evaluate them very, very like scientifically. This is like, okay, I'm in Bangkok. I'm going to go to this restaurant because I'm hungry for whatever kind of food and it's reasonably
Well,
priced.
they're probably trying out new restaurants. They haven't.
They
been
would
before.
be, but still there's going to be some type of selection bias in it, no matter what.
Well, for sure. Like when we're in Bali, we would hit up Locavore and Ubud, and it was damn good. So you basically put together a compilation of every place you've eaten over the year, and then you pick the best ones, and then you got to write why, right? And a lot of factors come into that.
How does the Michelin listing work? Is it also based on like you have judges that go out and just try restaurants?
Yeah,
Is it
they have
anonymous?
they have a
Like,
panel
what-
of judges. Well, it's supposed to be anonymous, but then it gets into the corruption aspect that you were talking about because then people will go on the side and say, "Hey, I'm a judge."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better get fucking good service.
What's that star worth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's so many key things. It's kind of cliche at this point, but single diners were always viewed as being a Michelin judge. So like even these Michelin star restaurants back in the day, if a single person came in, you always gave them a lot of extra attention because you assumed that they were a judge.
So
here on work.
interesting. No wonder.
So single diners always got a little bit more care to detail. And then other people would like drop a fork or something like that. And that was kind of another ringer. Like, did someone come and pick it up? Like, okay, you're just ticking boxes right
shit.
now, So then that kind of clues you in a little bit as to what this person's doing. And again, you got to study human behavior and you kind of have an idea of what the typical cliche judge is going to try to pull to tick boxes.
Oh my god,
Where my head just went on that
I
one?
eat solo a lot. I'm about to start dropping forks everywhere I go and start being pompous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Immediately,
what
the first thing you do when you sit down
Dude.
is top of work.
Swing some
and
arrogance in there.
and you guys know me, right?
Complain about
It's
the
like-
ice cubes.
Get the meal comped.
That's exactly where my head went, and I'm a real stickler for that kind of stuff. Wow.
Wait, I want to backtrack a little bit. You were mentioning how the delivery platforms, the major ones, they often charge like a lot of fees in it that you don't even know about sometimes and get thrown.
Gangster.
Yeah, so this took me by surprise, and I feel like let's bring it up because I don't think they know about this, and we could just quickly talk about it.
All right, just kind of a brushstroke on this one. The bigger ones, like you had mentioned, they do a delivery fee and a platform fee. So to be listed on their platform would be, let's say 20%. Okay, and then
Of the
delivery fee-
overall bill, each bill,
each
right?
item. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So okay, if you do not watch them, sometimes they'll jack you up to like 28%. And then you kind of reflect on the you got to watch them every day because then all of a sudden you're like, excuse me, why are we at 28% for the past 2 days? Oh, we included you in some special promotion and we're doing this and you're taking on our end and they don't tell you. So if you don't watch them, they're kind of trained to basically take advantage of you and try to, it's like we do our own marketing. I don't need anything from you. So you want to keep that around 23% is kind of the unfortunate going rate.
That's a lot.
So it's 20%
still a
right
lot.
off the top just to be on their platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus delivery fee. So it cost a lot to be on those delivery fees. And then a lot of people would say something along the lines of, "Whoa, why don't I just do my own delivery?" It's like, well, do you really want to carry that insurance? No.
That's a nightmare.
No. So, we started really small and we kind of relied on them. So now that we've kind of got proof of concept and we understand, we got to be more profitable. And it's not profitable by doing 80, 90% of your business with the delivery platforms. So that's why we want to get more seats in the next place and kind of encourage more grab, go, takeaway, sit in, and be less reliable on these delivery platforms.
I'm going to start
your new
ordering
location.
delivery less. Then I'm going to start. I've been only ordering delivery from Substandard.
That'll be good.
Well,
Get you
no,
out of the house.
And there's a new platform coming online very soon. I think they're already on, but they are going to be game changers. JD.
JD's gonna start delivering food.
Yeah. They're one of
Are you talking about Jingdong?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are hiring like crazy right now.
Really?
they're
But
gonna-
why
they're
do
trying
you
to
say they're
compete?
going to be a game changer? Wouldn't they follow just the
Competition.
same business model?
Competition, same business model, but they're cutting the delivery and platform fees.
Of course they are because they're newcomers.
They're going to try to put Meituan out of business.
and they got the pockets to do it.
exactly.
Wait, who owns Meituan? Tencent?
Is it?
I don't know.
But like Sherpas got put out of business by their own design, and they just could not keep up with Ulema and Meituan. So I think
What happened to Sherpas? Because I remember
You used to live off of Sherpas.
I used to years ago. I only ordered. I haven't ordered from Sherpas for years now. I don't know
they're gone.
why.
They had, remember those little books?
No, they're still
Those little
around.
Yeah.
pamphlets?
Are they still around?
Yeah. I still have their app. Like I check it. They're still
they're closed.
there, right?
No,
Now-
they closed in October
Oh, okay. Well, it's before October, they were still.
or November, something like that. Yeah,
I
they
remember
closed.
those
A
books.
sad, dying death. Like literally, we did not even want to deal with Sherpas, but I was like, let's just see, because there's some old school people that have been here for a long time, and Sherpas is what they know, and there's some people still that aren't too astute to order in Chinese on the other platform fees. So I was like, let's give it a try. And it was just one guy named Connor. Don't know who this guy is, but his name Connor always popped up every day for the Italian. We only had like basically 1 to 2 people. If we did 3 people on Sherpas a day, we're like, wow, Sherpas is busy today.
There's one Connor.
Right, that one guy named Connor. I really want to find out who the hell this guy is. So Connor,
that
if
was
you are
Howie's
listening,
login from back in the day.
yeah,
But
one guy.
What
And they
was
were
the
just
main
sad.
thing that why couldn't Sherpas compete? Was it just the price?
The guy Mark sold the company a long time ago to Yum Brand. Yum Brand did not really care about this brand at all. So even talking to the girls who worked for Sherpas for like 11 or 13 years, she told me, nice lady, but she was like, we get no budget. They don't like us. I was like, are you gonna, try to do something else? You want to, maybe you want to switch there? She's like, no. It was just sad. It was just a slow, sad, dying death because nobody cared about it. And they were so ridiculous too. You remember those delivery times. It was like, oh, please be patient. It's raining outside. Your order will be there in 3 hours.
Yeah,
And
all
you
the time.
it's rain. It's a little sprinkle outside.
Yeah.
We're going to charge you an extra 20 kwai delivery fee. Da-da-da. And then they didn't have
shit, I remember that.
Yeah, that's why I hated
Right.
Sherpas.
It was like,
There's no
come
way they
on.
can compete, right? It's like a
Yeah.
mom and pop trying to compete against freaking Costco or something or Sam's.
But here's my question: because of the 2 brands that we just mentioned, Ulema and Meituan, the 2 biggest ones, I would say, you would think that they would be fighting against each other and lowering costs to be competitive, but I guess not.
They're kind of in line. So, maybe there's some communication in the background. Like, no one's going to go down to 15% and the other guy's going to stay at 20.
We're not going to catch you by surprise.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
We're-
they
yeah.
have their costs.
But also the market is also big enough where they're both kind of just like, it's good.
yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah,
Take
unless,
over.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
they've
Maybe
got
that's-
scale.
yeah.
That's the network effect.
But how does the delivery kind of business model here compare to that of, like, let's say in the States, which is like Uber Eats or something or whatever they're using in America? Like, is it relatively the same kind of a business model or is it radically different?
I don't know. I haven't lived there in a long time. I don't know. And then also in the States, it seems like, last time I was there, I was staying in a hotel in Chicago near the airport, getting an early flight the next day. So I ordered a pizza. Guy rolls up. Cool. It was like $14. I give him a 20. It's like, so we good? We good? I'm like, oh shit. And now I'm embarrassed. Like, yeah, sure, here, keep the money. But why did I just tip you 45%?
Wait, what was the, like, we good?
Yeah, that's all he said to
the
me.
change.
Like, keep the change. Like, oh, so we good?
So we good?
I was like,
He's
maybe? I don't know. Okay, go. This is weird.
But this speaks, Jason, to, I mean, it goes back to the business acumen piece because, while you're American, you've spent many years here in China. Like Justin was saying, like you run all kinds of businesses and done all kinds of things. So like, then you saw the opportunity, right? It's not like this business model in its current incarnation, you'd have to do a different proof of concept in another country. It's very specific to your local knowledge of this market. And even if you wanted to go to Beijing, I would argue you'd have to network and find people that you knew there to understand the market.
100%. And we do know a fair amount of people in Beijing. I think that would be not on the top 3 places I would want to go.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think
can imagine.
There's a lot more energy in, even though Shenzhen is so spread out, Guangzhou seems to be a little more interesting. Wuhan seems to be a little more interesting. Like the younger crowds, the more at universities,
Hell yeah.
those type of things. I think Wuhan would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And again, you got to look at all the rents, right? So you would need about 30 square meters for these things, and rent in Beijing ain't cheap.
Yeah,
especially to be in the right place. And then again, taking on that delivery platform fees in these other places, you just have to be very cautious and careful how much you spend just to make sure that you can still pay the rent, pay your staff, and get the product in, right? I mean, we were traveling in Ho Chi Minh not too long ago, and I'm like, how the hell can we compete here? It's $1 for a banh mi on every corner, and they're delicious. But then we went on like this. I was ordering like 4 banh mi's a day, and we were specifically going to get in a car and going to this one, then this one, then this one. And by the end of it, what I realized about all the banh mi's, as great, people are in love with that sandwich. But honestly, it's a pretty shit sandwich. The bread is just so damn bad. And I'm like, I don't get it. So even in our group, there's a lot of people asking for banh mi's. I'm like, nah, thought about it, went, tried them, nah.
Sticking to your guns.
I had one good one out of like 8 days traveling in Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah. To me, what differentiates your stuff outside of just the fact that we grew up in the US and all that is the quality. It's that you maintain the quality of the product. It's the loyalty piece, right? Because like the margins obviously for a sandwich are not going to be massive, but it's like they're going to go to you and not someone else.
Well, the game is definitely upped over the past 8 months, I would say.
Yeah.
There's some really good sandwiches out there.
Yeah. So this is another thing I want to touch on. There's actually several things I want to touch on too. And we should actually start maybe pivoting away from sandwiches a little longer because
it's been a long conversation.
Jason is such an interesting guy, and for us to just talk about sandwiches the whole time. But I do want to Howie was touching upon this, and I just want to add my 2 cents in is that, and I remember I pulled you guys aside one day and even said this to you guys off air, was that, so I feel like there is this renaissance happening now in Shanghai with a lot of F&B. Pre-COVID, it was kind of like, okay, it's steadily, Western food, international cuisine is steadily improving. But now I just feel like that bar is now even elevated, where the expectation now of like even a simple thing like a burrito or a sandwich, the standard and the bar has been raised, where it's like we're expecting even better now than what the bar was pre-COVID. Do you feel that that's the case?
I think for sure you see a lot more things popping up. Some of the big boys got out of town and then closed, as we all know. So the game got tougher, and people had to get smarter and figure out exactly what's important. Do you want to do, we've seen this every day. So 5 of them on the way here today. Whenever I see a sign outside of a shop that just opens, says coffee, pasta, pizza, sandwich, snack, it lists like 500 things that they do. It's like, not going there, because that's just someone fishing, right? They're just trying to get people in. And you can't do everything great. So why don't you just do what you do and do it well and get a loyal customer base, right? So that's what a lot of people are doing now. They got smarter, and it's more cost effective to be able to do a few things that really are very, very good than try to please the masses. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
And those high-end places are kind of slightly suffering, but You can't do everything good. So just focus on your skill set, make it simple, and make it good, and make people happy.
Yeah, I feel like I see a lot more of these smaller shops open up where you literally, your capacity is like 20 patrons or so.
Absolutely.
As opposed to larger restaurants or high-end restaurants. I see that difference.
Well, nobody wants to pay for those square meters of empty seats sitting out in a dining room, right? Nobody wants to pay for that. So they're trying to figure out the sweet spot. How many people do we need to do per square meter per day to be successful and turn a profit? What's too little? What's too much? And
it's the competition because the novelty is worn off. Like like Western food has been here for a long time. When I was in Vietnam a couple of years ago, and I was in Hanoi, and I thought it was interesting because we got like a local guide that was like, like from there, very sassy. He said it's super competitive because he was talking about Vietnamese food, and it's so specialized. And he said if you go to any place and they offer more than 2 different types of, Vietnamese dishes, they're shit.
Yeah.
Right. They're absolute shit because every other store there, they've honed their craft on like one, and the only reason they could survive. And so when the novelty factor gets lost, like you lose that. And then, everyone here, the foreigners have sort of gone, lots of them over the last couple of years. And then this new Gen Z crowd who probably has spent more time overseas and they've experienced things. So the competition is absolutely fierce. So basically now everyone has to deliver a real product. It can't just be because, like some Westerner opened this restaurant.
Yeah.
Your view will only get you so far now, right? And your price point, people are extremely more price sensitive. And again, like we were talking about, you can only charge so much for something until you're like, damn it, I need to charge more, but I can't. Would you pay that much? No. Okay, well then this is the price. Yeah, when I was in Hong Kong, I was working at the Peninsula at the restaurant Felix on the top floor. And it just was not a good fit because it was a tourist destination and the bathroom was designed by Philip Stark. And so the bathroom was stunning. I don't know if you guys have been there. Have you been there?
No.
Anyway, one of the
But if it's
coolest.
Philip Stark,
It was one of the coolest bathrooms you'll ever witness on the planet. And that's not really good for a chef when your toilet is more popular than your food. They didn't even care. They probably didn't even look at
People
the food.
go there just to take a shit.
They were going there to do that and then look out the window the whole time. So it didn't really matter what was on the plate. It could have been barbecue.
It's like you got to
ribs.
look at the context of what's going on, the zeitgeist of what's going on, like the environment, the times, the place, and all of those things. And you got to just pick your moment. And sometimes that window only lasts like a year, but you learn from that and then you kind of pivot. You've got to kind of get in there at the right time.
Right. And you got to do, we are cheap. Okay. I don't like spending money if we don't have to because we have very limited margins. Right. Mm-hmm. But so we get kind of lucky that we've been picked up by a few KOLs who like to come in, the local small, younger Chinese girls who want to come in, take the photos of a sandwich and then kind of post it to their people. Mm-hmm. So we had to get a little bit more interesting with our marketing strategies because we don't have a big budget. So to touch on the base, we did the underground menu.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. I'm in that group, the secret group. So is Justin. I don't think Eric is. But
he hasn't earned it.
Yeah,
Eric hasn't earned it.
He hasn't learned the password yet.
How he sends it to
But,
me.
Let's not let him in ever.
But what I want to know is how important is this underground menu or sort of group?
It's really cool. Because our shop is only 20 square meter, right? But there's over 300 and something people in that group and over a year. Yeah, it was just me and my wife at the beginning. It was 2 of us. Yeah. And that thing sat empty for like 4 months. And then we're like, okay, well, why don't we try to do something, something niche? Because a lot of people, sometimes every month or some months, we are the most repeat ordered restaurant in Jing'an area.
You also showed me a ranking that you were on for Ultima.
Yeah.
You were like the top delivery.
Most repeat delivery.
Most repeat? Okay.
Yeah. So when people are ordering that much from us, we want to kind of keep something fresh, new. I want to reward people who do order a lot by letting them in on a little secret. If you're in this group, we're going to make some cool stuff and you're going to be privy to getting it. And you got to order in code.
Yeah. People love that.
It's fun.
People love that.
I love fun. How, like, for a lot of people who are newer to like the secret menu, I always see this question. Is like, oh, if I order 6 Cokes, how do you guys know like what I want? Like, what if you guys just give me 6 Cokes?
Yeah. So
And you're like, if you're ordering 6 Cokes from us, you have a problem.
yeah, why are you getting it from us? Kuma is down the street. Just get it from them. Go to Family Mart. So I think people really do enjoy ordering 9 Gatorades or 5 Asahis and then receiving something that's not what they ordered, which confuses the shit out of the delivery guys.
Well,
But
that's repeated
just
a
shut
lot.
up. Just go.
In the messages that the
Yeah.
delivery is like, are you sure this is what you ordered? I see, 8 Gatorades, but this is a sandwich.
Yeah. The other day we had an order for 51 beverages.
51?
One order. It was like 10 Asahi, 14 Cokes, 5 Coke Zeros, or blah, 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 blah. It was 51 beverages. And it was all food.
That's hilarious.
So, of course, the delivery guys are like, what are you guys doing over here? So, but it's kind of fun, right? And so I think even myself, I get a kick out of it when I'm like pressing Coke 6 times and then I get a bowl of soup and give people something because, again, in the wintertime, a good soup is really hard to find. So we started that, and soups are selling like crazy.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that for 1 second because we've talked about this. And
Yeah, it's
I know
not
Jess is
sandwiches. It's soups. It's good.
No, real quick, because I know we
killing
got to
them.
move on from
You're
this.
killing them.
But how funny, because we've had this conversation, Jason, and I know Justin's going to want to chime in. When somebody opens a restaurant and they're not like us who grew up eating a certain type of food, but they're trying to make Western food. So if there's on the menu, there's, let's say, spaghetti bolognese, I can almost guarantee if that person's local or not.
Oh, of course.
Right? Because for some reason, there's just there's something about it that's off. And 100% guaranteed there's going to be pumpkin soup,
Yep. Mushroom truffle.
mushroom soup. Those two
Mushroom.
are 100% going to be on the menu. Why is that?
Well, is that just because maybe the locals like it more, or carbonara pasta is almost on
Always.
every-
It's always bolognese and carbonara.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with the soups. Pumpkin, nangua, mogu, cheap. And they think Chinese people like it. And I cannot stand that when people say, oh, Chinese people like that, or oh, Chinese people don't like that. No, Chinese people are just like everybody else. You don't, oh, Chinese people don't like sandwiches. No, they don't like bad sandwiches. They don't like bad soups.
Yeah.
They like good food.
Yeah, you can't put a label.
So
I mean,
stop punishing people by saying, oh, they like pumpkin soup. Do they? When was the last time you went out and ordered a pumpkin soup?
Yeah.
Never. But it's cheap, and it's a kind of a cliche nowadays.
It's a cliche, right?
Yeah, back in the day, that probably holds some weight. Like I remember eating a mushroom truffle soup in a French restaurant in the late 90s or something, saying, wow, that's delicious. That's cool. It's called mushroom cappuccino because they put the little foam on top.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's different. Now you're like, yeah, whatever. So we don't want to do that because we want to do things that you can't make at home.
Yeah.
Right? So, the carbonara is always that weird cream, no egg, cheap bacon. Terrible.
Yeah. It's almost on the menu. But you do touch on a really good point because I remember talking to a Chinese relative of mine, and they were like, oh, I don't like steak. I'm like, okay. But then like after dining, I was like, your type of palate, I can tell like you would probably like a good steak. They're like, nah, I've tried steak. I don't like steak. I'm like, have you ever had a good steak? And so I took them to like a proper steak restaurant, and they love steak. They just never had a good steak because they always went to those like cheap, like
sliced super thin, cooked well done.
super thin, well done. It's like soggy. It's like wet steak. It's not even
grass-fed.
There's no char to
Super
it.
chewy.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super chewy. But that was their impression of steak, and so how could you blame them? Because their
Not
entire
seasoned.
introduction to this food is done a certain way, so they don't know any better.
I think
same
that's
with
an
sandwiches,
important-
same with soups, same with pastas.
That's a very important, insightful anecdote, and that's something we talk about on the show is not making assumptions because it's so easy, especially for foreigners like us, to be like, okay, This is what Chinese people are like. This is what they want. This is what they do, and it's problematic in a couple of ways. Well, first of all, there's 1.3 or 4 billion people here. It's like any other culture, everyone is individual. There are the differences between two different Chinese people could very well be much larger than the difference between that Chinese person and a foreigner. Just because that's one way it's problematic. The other way it's problematic is exactly what you're saying, is that we're not even talking about the same thing. We're exposing them to things that are not even the thing that thing is called.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
we
a
have two
steak.
completely different
like a
things in
steak.
mind.
I mean, what is a steak? It's 5 letters. But what is an actual steak could vary from every restaurant. Even from day to day, the steak could be different. And I think we're not precise enough.
And
Go ahead.
well, again, and then the cut of beef as well, right? I mean, Tenderloin is
Exactly.
the most overrated thing on the planet, but foreigners, everybody still loves a filet mignon or a beef tenderloin, right? It's soft, it's textured, and that kind of becomes the epitome of what people assume a steak is, versus kind of more well-traveled, well-seasoned people eat steak for a lot. Sometimes they'll gravitate towards a bavette
strip.
or a flank steak or ribeye.
I'm just
I want the
ribeye guy.
rib. I'm a rib cap.
I'm
guy.
a New York strip.
I'm a
New York strip
ribeye.
guy, yeah.
Ribeye.
Rib
Marbling.
cap all day.
What's rib cap?
It's that nice, gorgeous piece of meat above the strip.
I gotta try that.
So it's also about experience, right? So, have you had a good steak, like we talked about, right? And then what kind of steak do you like?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much about exposure.
They're not
right?
exposed.
Because they
to,
said when I've opened a lot of steakhouses in my life, 55 and 5th in Abu Dhabi. We did the Mandarin Oriental. We did a 58 degree grill, sticking with the numbers here. We've done a lot, right? And then dry aging was kind of a popular thing maybe 10 years ago, right? Oh, Chinese people won't like it. It's like, how do you know? And now, what's it, Stone Sol or something like
Yeah,
that? They
yeah,
are
yeah.
crazy busy and they age their meat way too long, in my opinion. But it's insane. Like,
I just
they
went there.
love it.
Yeah. Well, it's about exposure, but it's also about like for the person making the food. I think something you touched on previously, Eric, was like, is the heritage there? Is the love and passion for this thing and understanding for this thing there, right? Because like, as much as we're complaining about like maybe the Western food not done right here, like you can say the equal thing about like some guy in America who's never been to China, or maybe like spent like 1 week in China, went back and started opening up a dumpling place, right?
Yeah. After he tattooed something in Chinese on his
Yeah,
arm, so
yeah.
everyone can see that he's got credit
Yeah.
of being in China.
He's trying to like imitate this concept of a dumpling in his
Totally.
mind, and it's
Yeah.
just a disaster.
That's such
right?
a great example.
Yeah.
Well, my family used to call PF Changs. They called it PF Shames. And then like my mom will be like, oh, like we're gonna take you to the dumpling place. Like, oh, like your dad and me love that place. And I'm like, dude, do you know where I live? You know who we are? Like, do you know where our ancestors are from? Like, what?
But that orange peel beef and dynamite prawn from P.F. Chang's is
Yeah.
still pretty
Yeah.
damn
I had a
delicious.
good meal.
I call that honky Chinese food.
It
I
is,
eat
it
it. I
is.
like honky Chinese food.
We were talking the other day. Was that you and I were talking about getting the egg roll wrappers?
The egg roll, yeah.
You can't find good egg roll wrappers because I would love a delicious egg roll.
Hey, what was that restaurant? Chopsticks? Is
Yeah,
that right?
chopsticks,
Yeah,
and
in
then
Shanghai.
there was another one before that.
I was doing like American Chinese food.
Yeah, fortune
Yeah.
cookie.
Fortune cookie.
Yeah, that was
So
fun.
mad that was gone.
But everyone's tried the American Chinese version, and they've all failed miserably.
Because it's such
terrible.
a limited audience. It's just American.
Well, I mean, you pop up. You could pop that up on Christmas Day. Do a Panda Express on Christmas Day, and that would be fun. Because especially like Chinese food was very popular on Christmas for a lot of cultures. Because like if you're Jewish, you're not. Everything's closed. What's open? The Chinese restaurant, the American Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of like
Yeah.
became a
That
thing.
would be a fun theme.
Actually, Joe's Pizza has a General Tso's chicken. Do you ever see that?
No.
Yeah, Joe's Pizza
Is it
has
good?
No, it's not.
Is it under my burnt pizza? I haven't seen it.
It's not good. It's not.
wait.
It's not yummy. But at least they offer it.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite Chinese dishes and Chinese restaurants here in Shanghai? I'm curious.
All right. I like Wang Hongdu has a lot. So if you ever spend any time in Wang Hongdu, and I spend a lot of time there.
Wanghang Dulu, the road?
Yeah, where
That's
Substandard
near your,
is.
near your shop. Wanghang,
There's
Wanghang
there's a
Dulu. Okay.
little Shenzhen and gyoza place like a few doors down. It's pretty damn delicious.
Really?
There's always a queue. It's good.
Shenzhenbao?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then if you go on the Beijing Road, hang a left. There's a hairy crab soup dumpling shop, and that place has
love
got
that.
a queue. It's amazing.
Really? Shit.
I love
Tonight
crab
we're
dumpling.
going to Silo.
Oh, I heard about that.
It's also on Wulamuchi.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but we're going tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Looks pretty cool.
Wait, what is it? Shanghainese or is it?
I have no idea.
But it's Chinese.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I've heard of
Chinese.
it. Do you like duck? Like dadong?
We were debating Silo or Dadong tonight.
Okay. Because I went for my birthday the other day, and we just picked. Me and my wife just pigged out.
Don't
like,
tell me that's your first time.
Yeah.
Happy
no,
birthday,
no, no,
by the
no.
way.
So I love so when I first came to China, I was traveling to Beijing. This was years ago, and I'd always loved duck in the U.S., but you wouldn't in Houston you wouldn't really get good stuff. But for whatever reason I just love Peking duck. So I come out. My colleagues take me. It's like in Beijing. It's really, really legit. And so we do it. So the next day I'm like, hey, I really like that place. Can we go back? They're like, okay, yeah. Right. And then the third day I was like, can we go back? And they're like, okay, last time. Right. And then like the fourth day I'm like, come on, let's go. And they're like, no, we're not going to go with you. So then I ate duck for 2 at the hotel. And so I ordered like a duck every single day for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it got to a point where like I just hear people snickering and laughing and I turn around because I was like the only one in the restaurant in the hotel. And then like they would like, be serious.
Like the
and
wait
stuff.
staff?
Yeah, because they were just, and then later on I got to know them. They're just like, dude, we've never seen someone like so skinny and then coming in like 2 weeks in a row of duck. Like you're crazy. But yeah, I love like
But I
Da
understand.
Dong, yeah.
I understand.
Da Dong is amazing.
Da
It's
Dong's
so good.
legit. But yeah, I mean, the Chinese food is just, I really enjoy Da Dong. And then they have delivery. So have you ever had the Beijing duck delivery?
No, dude,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, it's
We
awesome.
need to do that.
Did you say Da Dong
But
does
is it
delivery?
still good though? Because
It's
like,
great.
Really?
They do the best packaging.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's called like, not petite Da Dong, but it's something like that. And they have like a runoff delivery based thing where you can order the duck and all the sides and trimmings
like it's a
come
delivery
with the
operation
fried
going, yeah.
rice, and the packaging is what you would expect out of Da Dong.
Wow.
It's really good. Yeah, we do
need
that
to
from
do
time to time when we just want to indulge.
Because I think Beijing Kao Ya is one of those dishes. I'm with you, Eric. I can just keep eating.
But that's universal. Like even non-Chinese people,
Yeah.
like that's like the first thing. Like,
but it can
Americans
be heavy
would like.
because the stuff here is so, it's
Oily.
so oily and fatty. But like, no, I mean, for me, it might be number one. Like on a
I've
given
never
day.
gotten full off of Beijing Kao Ya.
What?
Yeah, like I love it, but like you just can't fill me up because I can just keep eating it.
It's a perfect drinking
Just like
snack.
sushi, I can keep eating sushi.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I will never get full off of sushi.
No,
But me and
I will
Ann-
eat a sandwich after I finish my sushi round.
Yeah, I know. Like sushi for sure. Yeah. But like, I mean, no, we had half a duck. I mean, sorry, we each had half, so full duck. But you know what my pet peeve is like they never give you enough pea, right? So what happens, you go through it and then you run out of the pancakes and then you're like, I need more pancakes. And then it's like 45 minutes before they give it. So this time I like...
You got to order in advance.
Yeah, so literally I sat them down and I was like, you need to, and I'm like, we need, he's like, they were like, we get it. I'm like, I want 2 full boxes full of them. Don't take the caps off. Otherwise it'll get cold. And like, we know, right? And I'm like, and I repeated it like 10
you
more
don't
times.
know.
Yeah. I said, you don't know. I said, I come here all the time and you always fuck it up. And they're like, okay, we get it. And then every 10 minutes I check, like, do you have the second box? Do you have the second box? Is that my second box? And then, yeah, I was pretty,
Yeah, they love them over there.
I was volcano.
But to your point, you got to eat just like every cuisine. You have to eat so many places to find the one you really like.
Yeah.
Right. So for
There's
every
good food everywhere.
10 bad ones, or to find one good one, you got to eat 10 bad ones.
Wait, Jason, I want to ask you because before you kind of made a quick comment that maybe went under the radar when I think Eric mentioned Joe's Pizza, because you make a really solid pizza yourself, right? And this is something very near and dear, I think, to our hearts is pizza. Coming from New York and everything. And it's also a very personal thing, right? Everyone has their own opinions on what kind of pizza they like. Some people like a thin crust, some people like thick crust, whatever it is. The Shanghai pizza scene. What are your thoughts? Who do you think? And anyone kind of stand out to you in terms of people you think are doing it good, doing it right?
All right. I mean, it's probably no secret. I think the reigning champs is definitely Home Slice.
Yep.
They've got a great following. They make a really good New York slice.
Agreed.
I think they do a great job. Nothing to really complain about. I think that white pepperoni pizza is pretty damn banging. I don't know if you've tried that one, but it's pretty good.
Classic white for me, but yeah.
Yeah, they do all right with the Parmesan crust. They're good. Okay. I really like what Wayne and Lee are doing over at Zup. His Detroit style, like we were just talking, when they did their pop up over at Pony.
That queen bee is delicious.
Queen bee is awesome.
It's freaking delicious.
It's so good. Me and my son went and we ordered so much.
yeah.
That honey they put on it?
Yeah,
It's
it's so good. And
So
then
good.
we got a square takeaway, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to get home, put on some Netflix, and just crush this thing." Even though I'm already embarrassed at how much pizza I've already eaten today. So I like a lot what they're doing. So I think the pizza game is pretty damn strong here.
You haven't mentioned a authentic Italian.
Nah.
You're so American.
I know. I know.
Italians just can't do pizza, right?
They really suck at it.
They suck at pizza.
Yes.
They were good. They were good.
They wanna,
500 years ago.
They want to talk about how cool they are with their pizza, but it's like, okay,
That's like
They sucked before the Americans got in the game.
Damn, I'm about to start fucking railing. Okay, but it's like, listen. They're like, oh, it's a traditional. I 5% of sugar, little bit of salt, just the tomato. It's like, fuck off, bro. Put some damn oregano in there, some fresh basil, some garlic. Punch that shit up a little bit. Sweat some onions in there. Put the work in. Then spread that shit on the pizza.
If I see a raw slice of tomato on my pizza, like
it's just so soggy.
And then stop it with your one black olive on the damn pizza. It's like, chop that shit up and put it on the damn pizza. Who's the lucky guy who's going to get the one single olive with a pit in it? Like, come on. Oh, the artichoke. Yeah, the oily artichokes you just pulled out of a jar that are just sopping up oil all over the plate. Nah.
No.
Oh. Give me some real ingredients. And then that salami they put on there. I love cured salami.
Yes, cured salami.
Not baked. So that fat just kind of bakes, and then it has a really weird aroma and tastes different. The texture's different. Stop it.
Yeah.
But supposedly Naples has upped their pizza game, and maybe it's just sort of still there. But apparently, like I've read some articles, seen some stuff. They've been upping their pizza game. They're trying to catch up to the Americans. I mean, they're still a couple hundred years behind, but they're upping their game.
That's just an urban legend.
But seriously, like there's supposed to be some good places. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay, for what it is for an Italian pizza, I don't order Italian pizzas because I like a little bit more flavor. My flavor profile. Like that's why we do the deluxe, or we do so much pepperoni or not pepperoni.
Yeah,
right?
it's delicious.
I like one that's just
pizza.
There's supposed to be rule number one in pizza making is don't overtop the pizza. I'm like, really?
No.
I say put
Who
everything
made
on
that
top.
rule? Who
Exactly.
made that rule?
Fucking
Stupid.
liars, right?
Yeah.
So
Who made
like,
that rule?
no, top the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
But again, not to name drop too much, but Bottega does good at what they do. Okay.
Yeah.
They do a fried pizza. Yeah, they do I think it's a calzone, and they deep fry it, and that one's pretty damn good.
Okay. Tried that.
Me and my son are both addicted to that one. So I think what they do, and again for Chinese consumer base, they're going to assume because how many people walk into my shop? Oh, you must be Italian. I'm like, nah.
But okay, so is this a misconception? But I feel like the local scene here, at least in Shanghai, the locals probably lean more towards Italian style because there's a lot more Italian restaurants that do their Italian
Well, they
style.
associate pizza with Italian food.
Yeah,
that's the biggest lie we've been ever told is that Italians like
authentic.
pizza comes from Italy. It's like no, pizza comes from New York. We all know that.
Where do noodles come from? They come from Italy or from China?
Do you ride in a horse in a cart, or do you like ride in an EV now? Yeah, you could have done that shit 500 years ago. Come on. Get with the times.
I love it.
We're shitting on traditional pizza so bad.
It's just fucking not good.
But hold on. But I will defend. Pizza is what makes America great.
Well, to me, it's like the biggest thing is can you hold the slice up? Right?
Yeah,
And it doesn't
is all
topple
the
over.
toppings are gonna just fall off, and it's like all soggy and shit.
I've never asked you like what brought you to China in the first place. Like what was that? Like why are you here?
Okay, let's back that up a little bit. I was in Vegas, opening the Wynn. Before the Wynn opened, I was at the Mirage. Then we did the World Gourmet Summit in Singapore. So me and my boss flew from Vegas out to Singapore. We spent some time in Tokyo. And at this point, I was very American. I had to go look up where Singapore was on the map.
So was that your first time in Asia? First experience with Asia?
Yes, and I really liked Singapore. It was cool. Get back.
What year was this about? How far are we going back here?
2005.
Okay.
So I get back, and where I was working in Vegas, it was in the Wynn called Alex. Alex Strada was the chef. And right across the hallway from us was a guy named Richard Chen who ran Wing Lei. So we knew Richard quite well, really cool guy. He's like, oh, the Peninsula of Hong Kong is looking for a chef. I was like, wow, I like Southeast Asia. That's pretty cool. All right. So he put me in touch with people. I flew out there, got the job. So I left Vegas, went to Hong Kong. That's when it got into the toilet was just way too, was outnumbering me to the amount of
The food
people
was
who
an
actually gave a
afterthought.
shit. Yeah. I was like, this ain't for me. So after that, I did some consulting, messing around in Singapore a little bit. And then a job at 3 on the Bund at Restaurant Laris. The chef position became available because Gerhard left to go open the Park Hyatt. 2010, financial crisis. Everyone was getting laid off. So I moved to Dubai. Worked for Emar at the Address Hotel, opening team of the Burj Khalifa Atmosphere on the 122nd floor. Then to Abu Dhabi, opened the St. Regis on Saadiyat Island at the Steakhouse 55 and 5th, which was stunning property. And after 3 years in the Middle East, I was just begging to get out of there and come back to Shanghai, Hong Kong or Shanghai. And at that time, the Mandarin Oriental was opening in Lujia's Way. So I was kind of friends with Richard Ekebus at the time. Mandarin Oriental is a good group. So did some interviews and got that job. So that brought me back to Shanghai.
Were you only ever considering jobs in Asia? Why not? Did it ever occur to you, like maybe to try to move back to the States or anything?
Never crossed my mind.
Why not?
Just out here, I love the culture. I like the energy. I like that things change on a daily basis. Nothing's ever the same. I kind of miss a styrofoam bike guy, if you know what I'm talking about.
Styrofoam. Oh, with the huge styrofoam tower.
Right.
Wait, they're still. They're still.
I don't see him as much as I used to, so I kind of miss that guy. So
he's much more dormant these days.
Yeah, there's a lot less styrofoam to pick
or
up.
A group?
No. It's just you just see.
Like those. Yeah, I don't see him that often anymore.
Exactly. So I just liked how China, Southeast Asia was just interesting. It changes.
Different energy.
It's different. Right. So never thought about going back to the States. And then in the States, I come out here, I do Western food. There, I'm a dime a dozen. Mm-hmm. Here, it's kind of a special niche, right? So, and then what I also love about Shanghai, kind of a tangent, but not. What I liked about Shanghai, Vegas, Hong Kong, Dubai, chefs might hang out with chefs, but they'll never give you their suppliers. They don't share, right? That's taboo. You don't share. Your competition. Here, you're like, man, I wish we could get good red beets, candy stripe beets. Like, oh, I got a contact. Oh, I know a guy. Oh, let me help you with that, right? Everyone's helpful to each other, which is very rare.
Why do you think that is?
Because we all want the same thing. We want better product. So if we all get together as a group, convince the farmers to grow these things for us, like Padron peppers, shishito peppers. Those weren't here 10 years ago. Now they are.
It's like a win-win for everybody, right?
Yeah, it's a win-win. And I know that you won't be doing the same thing with your fish that I will be doing with my fish. I don't care. I just want better fish.
Yeah.
Right? So I never saw that anywhere else around the world when I've been cooking, except for Shanghai.
That's fascinating.
That exact sentiment I've heard more than once now. The first person to express that to me was Rafi from Cantina.
Oh, he invented tacos and outdoor dining.
He's a character all to himself. But I remember back in the day, he was telling me this. He was like, yeah, everyone's like, because I remember interviewing him and and I was like, oh, is it cutthroat here? I was like, what's the competition like? He's like, actually, it's a really cool community. Like he was kind of saying what you're saying now. And I kind of didn't believe him. I thought like, okay, maybe you're just like, you're speaking on the podcast. You didn't want to, alienate or offend anybody. But I've heard it more than once now where, yeah, like I fully believe it, what you guys are saying.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's I've never seen it anywhere.
Because that would be unimaginable in New York.
That's a cool idea. I think people that are outside this industry would never know this.
Yeah.
But like to me, this is fascinating.
It's like you're banding together, right? It's like you were a small group of people trying to survive in a certain area, and then you have to help each other.
But it's not even about survival. What he just said, which I'm really honing in on, is because everybody wants a better product.
But are you saying mostly it's like that? Is there like that one asshole who's like trying to like undercut other people? Like see
one asshole. His name is
honestly. Well, there was if I had to say something, there was a guy back in the day who was doing vegetables, and then he got into the salmon. Then he started doing other stuff. Well, the other guys, other farmers wanted to also start doing like microgreens because microgreens were everywhere. I mean, you get a scoop of chocolate ice cream and someone's put coriander cress on it or something, for fuck's sake. So, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so this other guy's got
like inside jokes.
Microgreen business. And the guy who had current microgreen business started giving away the greens for free to try to put the other people out of business. And now that was kind of an asshole move. So yeah, that's kind of the only guy. But other than that,
but that was like from the supplier side, right?
That's a supplier side, not a chef side. No. I've never has any chef ever said that I've ever heard of said, nope, I'm not going to give you that information.
Yeah, I think in general, from my minimal knowledge of your industry, but from what I see of other chefs, in general, people tend to hang with each other.
Yeah, it's a close community.
Yeah, it's
like they're
not
all
like
really tight
back
with
in
each
New
other.
York. People would be talking shit about each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
even-
think about like if you're in the U.S. and everyone like is just like you, and like you're walking around and like you're just gonna like judge people a lot, like like look at that idiot, like whatever, right? There's a lot more sort of I think judgmental kind of stuff. But if you come to a place and there's not a whole lot of Americans, then you just tend to band together because there's less of you. So like if you fight each other, like I mean, what's the point?
I get it.
Well, that's why we also like doing the food festivals together, especially when Austin was doing them, or Carlos at Up was doing one. Like we all get together. It's like, yes, let's go cook together, right? And everyone brings a little bottle that they want to drink that day, and everyone just has a big party and has fun.
Yeah,
and that's very rare to see chefs kind of get together and support each other. Be like, no, bro, I got to work. No, I'm not going out.
I wonder if the local Chinese chefs are like what we were just saying. They're
don't
like
think
talking
so.
shit about each other. Like, oh, fuck that. That's my vendor.
Yeah.
it's probably a lot more.
You know what I
cutthroat.
mean? More cutthroat.
I
Well,
think
there's
gotta
also like 100, like 10,000 times. Like, look at the
volume?
population.
Yeah.
Like, if there's like how many people are in this group that like a couple dozen chefs?
The chef
Like,
community?
Yeah.
Like about, I don't know. I haven't looked at. I've minimized that group a long time ago, but I don't know. Probably about 120.
Yeah. So imagine like the Chinese chef. There's probably 20,000 in Shanghai, like 50,000
Yeah.
at least.
And it's all regional,
Yeah.
right? It all specializes in something, and that's what I also love about Chinese cuisine is they specialize in certain things, and they only, like we talked about, only do a couple items on the menu.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. And interesting because we didn't talk about burgers, but it's kind of like sandwiches is like the next thing because like burgers, right? It got to a point, even 10 years. Remember New York style steak and burger?
Yeah.
Like there was
I remember when we first got here, we were also struggling to find like a really good burger.
because USDA
But then
was
eventually
banned.
that changed, and there were like good
Yeah.
burgers, and now it's like
Yeah.
of course you can get a good burger in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like all these like different dishes kind of like develop at their own pace in terms of the standard that gets raised.
Yeah.
So, what's the go-to burger?
Ooh,
We were asking this question the other day. Shake Shack? No.
I like Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Five
is
Guys is
good.
legit.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, like eating there, not
Yeah.
taking out, but
No,
eating there. Yeah,
The takeaway and that
Takeaway
wrapped
is not
foil is a disaster. Goodman Smash is all right. If I lived on this side of town,
I've been
I'd go there
hearing
more
about
often.
Goodman.
It's pretty
I have
good.
not had a good mince pie.
It's good. It's right down the street.
I mean, there's so many good. I don't know. Like I used to. I feel like I used to have like a go-to, but now it really just depends what style I want now.
Beef
There's
and
just that many
Liberty.
good burgers. Yeah.
Beef and Liberty still does a good job.
Beef and Liberty, Quever.
Yeah.
Quever has a
Queeve,
solid burger.
yeah.
Quever
Yeah.
does a solid burger. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's
man.
a lot.
You know, at the Langham, like I don't know anymore, but like years ago, I happened to be at the Langham, had their burger, really good, solid.
Yeah, I ordered the burger at 58 Degree Grill a few years ago. It was like 280 RMB. I'm like, okay, let's see what a 280 RMB burger tastes like. Of course, caramelized onions, foie gras, blue cheese, coriander cress, or some microgreen on
right,
top.
I think,
It was like the sloppiest, messiest, not exciting burger ever.
Well, it's a lazy burger, right?
It's sad. Okay, again, I'm also one of those guys who get really tired of all the exotic luxury ingredients sprinkled on things
Truffle?
to try to charge more.
yeah, they shave some truffle and then they can charge a lot more.
Yeah, put some uni, caviar,
Yeah.
toro
Yeah, yeah.
on a piece of Wagyu, on an oyster, and shave some truffle on it, and then charge extra.
I have a related question, but it can expand. What, if anything, do you miss about America?
Grocery stores, Whole Foods, grocery stores. I mean,
The selection? Is that what it
Just-
You
is?
don't miss the prices there, though.
I don't care if it's good. I don't care what it costs. Right? Okay. Now here, yeah, I miss grocery stores.
That's what I miss that too.
When we were back, like, we were in like San Francisco or somewhere, and was walking along with the wife, and I'm like, oh, there's Whole Foods. Let's go inside. We must have hit like 10 different Whole Foods in 10 different neighborhoods that day because I just wanted to see. I just like
It's
it.
an experience in there. It's an experience.
I mean, where can you? I mean, just to be able to buy freeze-dried popcorn and dried raspberries and this, that, and the other.
It's
and then
consumer
go-
like America. It's consumer heaven. When you look
Yeah,
at it,
yeah.
it's like it's on like steroids.
That's true.
everything here is just app-based ordering systems, right? And I also miss tangible. I miss bookstores. I miss tangible goods where I can go and make a decision and pick out which one I want by looking at all of them and then grabbing one, instead of like ordering clothes online and ordering blah, 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 and then sending 2 back, ordering 3.
I think you're really hitting something that I haven't really thought of. The idea of app-based purchasing or online purchasing, delivery purchasing, where you're scrolling, whether it's clothes, books, whatever, you're scrolling, seeing what you want, as opposed to being there and experiencing through your senses, making a choice or discovering things. Yeah, that you lose that. You don't have that in app. If anything, when I'm scrolling, even on grocery shopping, and I hate grocery shopping on the phone because I just get tired.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. I'm like,
And you're not even sure about the quantity because they almost like put it like in ounces or something. If I buy vegetables, it's like I'm like, how many cucumbers is that? I'm never really clear.
Why cucumbers, for example?
No, that's the first thing that popped up in my mind.
But you get fatigued, right? Because sometimes what I like, I'm sure you like, is walking around the supermarket not knowing exactly what you want, but something catching your eye, suddenly getting inspired and be like, oh, maybe I'll put together this dish. And then all of a sudden start, looking for certain things.
But I mean, you could still do that. I mean, it's still are grocery stores.
It's different.
It's different.
I mean, we buy pretty much everything online. Unless it's a specific meal, then I'll go to whatever city super and pick it out. Even the fresh, people don't buy fresh anymore. So if you go look at all that beef and you're like, oh, yeah, let's get those steaks tonight for dinner, chances are they've been sitting there for about 4 or 5 days in that tepid danger zone temperature of about 4 to 6 degrees, 8 degrees, and it's not going to be good because people aren't buying it. It's not turning through.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. Like one is that, like City Super, like I want to just blow it up. I get so angry when I go to places like City Super. But I think more importantly is that we're just getting further and further away from this notion of truly being human. And if you look at Gen Zers or Gen Alphas, they experience the whole world through just a window, a screen. So they don't even have that feeling of nostalgia or longing that we do, because they've experienced everything from the time they grew up. They're seeing things through a screen, and their conception of the world, I would argue, is probably slightly different. If you've never grown up in a world where you're touching everything and seeing everything, and so like they are experiencing something very, very different. Whereas because it's like maybe one day people won't even go to national parks anymore. They'll just put on some goggles and they'll sort of be there.
Like, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
The Vision Pro. They'll put on the Vision Pro.
But I'm because we grew up in an era where things were pretty much still very physical and offline, then that shapes like our conception of the world, right? And I don't like being on my phone. I try to not be on it.
Agreed. But I think they still will go to national parks because how are you going to get your selfie with a snow leopard
Exactly
before they maul you?
That's right. No, you'll be able to do that through
That's
whatever.
true.
Well, Jason, you have a 8 or 9-year-old, right? 8-year-old son.
Son, boy.
Like, is that something that weighs on your mind in terms of like their relationship with digital devices and social media and stuff like that, especially in China?
That's a cool thing. Before he was born, me and Lori, my wife, we travel a lot and we eat a lot. That's kind of our hobby. So we were at the Chinese restaurant in the Four Seasons in Hong Kong, and we're looking at this couple, and it just struck us as just cool because the son and the daughter, they didn't put iPhones, iPads, and stuff in their face to pacify them while they were actually enjoying a nice Michelin star meal. The kids were engaged and they were part of the conversation. And we're like, wow, if we ever have kids, that's what we want to do. We don't want to alienate them. We want them to enjoy and embrace conversation, not be addicted to these phones. And we're not going to be lazy parents. We just go, here you go. Look at this while mommy and daddy talk and drink wine. So we made a really strong commitment to always including him in our day-to-day life, right? Instead of pacifying him. And I really enjoy talking to him. I like knowing what he's into. Like when we were setting up the shop, he's into Ultraman. That's his thing, right? Figured he would eventually grow out of it, but he hasn't. But it's pretty cool. So when we were decorating the shop, putting the wheels and stuff up on the wall, he's like, I'm going to help daddy. And he brought up a bunch of Ultramans and he started putting Ultramans in the shop. So that's why we have them. And now I kind of look at those Ultraman as like our money cat. So instead of having the cat with the waving hand, we got Ultraman in the window, man. He's our guy. Yeah, so he's a kind of our sponsored money cat of the shop.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Are you a China lifer? Do you see yourself here like long term? You know, having a family here, all that business, or do you eventually think you'll be moving elsewhere?
I mean, China's been it's home. You know, it's life. But eventually, yeah, I'd kind of like to go someplace and just chill, right? But again, I've always lived in big cities, so I don't know how I would feel. We spent some time in Phuket and Vietnam, and like, oh, could we actually live a sleepy town? Can we actually live on the beach? Or are we just in love with that idea of being on the beach? Because you go there for 10 days, and then you're like, okay, this is getting a little boring. Let's head back to the city, right? So I don't know. I mean, I love Shanghai, but I hope I do have some more relocation, destination, set up shop, try something new again, because I've moved around so much. And I do kind of miss that travel, relocation, see a new culture, see a new life, do something different.
Yeah.
I don't really like, I like change, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I like Asia a lot too. Like we said, you know, it's always redefining itself.
Yeah.
But I would like to find something.
Yeah.
I would like to at least have another place somewhere where we can kind of go chill.
Yeah, if you can have the best of both worlds situation, that would be great.
Yeah, you know, get him more nature, more outside, not city. Because right now he's scared of bees. He doesn't like the ocean because it smells like fish, and he doesn't like fish, right? So it's like all this stuff. I can't open the windows. He says, Daddy, bees are going to come in. Like, okay. All right, so we can't open the windows because the bees, even on the 21st floor, bees are going to be flying
we had
around.
a battle with a mosquito. I mean, not even a bee last night, a mosquito. Like, I was scared shitless. I was like, no, because like you never know when they're going to attack.
What?
Mosquitoes
you mean
are
like bite you?
yeah, like they're very, very sinister, and they can like
And they're intelligent.
they're so, like yeah, like
Very
I just don't like
intelligent.
the fear of knowing it's gonna always be there to attack you when you're sleeping. Come on,
Dude, I have so many stories with mosquitoes. They are fucking ninjas.
I know.
They have you ever had a battle with a mosquito in
Yes,
the middle of the night?
all the time.
Yeah, have you? No.
I've woken up in the middle of the night and slapped the shit out of my face for no reason, which hurt. But yeah, mosquito won that battle.
Real quick. This is that's
I know.
that's why
you
when
know
you're,
what you know what I'm talking about.
because when you were talking about this, it struck a nerve. I'll share a real quick story. So I remember one time in the middle of the night, buzzing. They just love
it's
the buzz.
buzzing, the
It's
flybys,
right? The flyby by the ear, and then you like bam, 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 bam. You're trying to hit them, and obviously they'll come back. They'll come back every like 5-10 minutes. Right? They just love going by the ear.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I got so frustrated because I kept slapping, I didn't get it, that I got up and I just got up, turned on the light, and I was like looking around. I didn't see it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I said, you know what? Instead, I'm just gonna cover myself and just leave my face. And so everything else was
it was like boom.
no, listen.
It was in there with
so
you.
it's just like my face, right? And all of a sudden, it's like it bit my cheek, right? And all of a sudden, my cheek is like puffing out. I'm like, fuck, right? And then I still couldn't see it. So then I just left my lips out. And the motherfucking bit my lip, right?
Yeah.
It just found the one spot that was coming out of the blanket.
Yeah.
And boom, I got so pissed. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get up. I'm going to find this motherfucker and kill it. And I turn on the light. You can imagine me with like a magazine in my boxers just on my bed.
Yeah.
Just like literally swiping at everything and yelling out, motherfucker, and just being so angry. You know what I'm talking about.
I've done this. I've been that. Like, because the thing, like one of the things is that if it keeps flying by, literally it wakes you up every 5 minutes, and it's like a type of torture.
It
and
is.
both my wife and like she is very, because some people just don't get bit.
Yeah.
Like my dad, he just never gets bit. My mom does. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And if there's a mosquito in our place, so before what we would do is the mosquito would come, and immediately we would she doesn't like waking up in the middle of the night, and we would just immediately turn on the light and we would hunt for it together.
Yeah.
And she's got good eyes, and I'm a good killer, so she would be like, "It's over there," and I'd go, "Bah!" right? And so there are many times where we had to do like U.S. military operations and kill the fucking mosquitoes. But then later on, I found there's a device. It's a little device you plug in, and it has a little strip in it.
Zero dark 30 over here.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a little strip. You just put the strip in. It lasts 10 hours. You plug it in, and then it automatically, and there's no issue.
Yep.
Right.
Those have been out there since like 1992. It's quite cutting edge technology now.
That's why you slap yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that makes sense because the story I shared was back when I was in college. So
There you go. Yeah, before those were invented.
yeah.
No, yesterday we had to
Graham
engage
Bell.
in an operation in the living room because you know how it's warming up. Like literally, we were trying to watch a fucking movie, so we had to turn all the lights on. We found it and then eliminated
It's
it.
fucking mosquitoes.
Why don't you just get screens?
No, because we do have screen. It's just like they get in somehow. Like literally every time we open the door,
They do get in.
and they just get in.
They do
I don't
get
know.
in. You obviously are not.
Yeah, he doesn't
prone
get bit. That's
to
why.
mosquito bites.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
not prone.
no, they attack me all the time. I've just figured out how to quickly kill them and move on with life because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yeah, you guys are weird. You two, and
Yeah.
just move on with your life.
Yeah.
Kill them, move on with your life. It's
Yeah.
a mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
you don't
22
understand.
minutes
Yeah,
left
like
of the
I
movie.
can't relate to this
You
like
can't
all
relate.
night.
That's so
like,
weird how you
special
can't-
operations thing.
No, because they keep coming.
Yeah.
It's like even one.
You have no idea.
He has no idea. He doesn't get bit. That's why he puts all.
No,
once
I
it
get
up.
bit. I get bit all the time. They like my blood, actually. I get bit all the time.
It's based on what? Oxygen and blood type?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I've heard that it's like that's why when you're sleeping and everything is kind of dormant around you and they can tone in you because of the oxygen you're
That
breathing.
just shows like he's just so like.
I've done
emotionless.
online research on this
different
concept.
level.
He's not. He's like. He's just so like nothing phases him. He's
Different
cold
level.
blooded.
It's all right. That's all right.
Anyway, Jason, I think what you're doing with Substandard is awesome. Obviously, we're fans of the place, and keep it up, man. I think what you're doing in your role and your contribution to the Shanghai culinary scene, when it comes to Western food, at least, is really really cool, man. And I'm a big fan. So thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for coming on and just
Thank
talking
you.
with us.
Yeah, good times.
Hell yeah.
I'm just throwing this out there, but I mean, if one day if there was the honest drink sandwich,
Yeah, we'll look into that. I think it'll be mosquito based for sure.
yeah,
It'll be called the Mosquito.
Mosquito. Then you'll know what
it'll
it
be
is.
called the bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, very good.
That's a good
Okay.
one. That's a good one.
Now we got something to work with.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, Jason. Thanks.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
All right. I'm Justin.
I'm Howie.
I'm hungry.
All right. Be good. Be well.
Peace.